You open the app. Your thumb hovers over the screen. You have something to say, but you don't post it. Not because you don't care. Not because you have nothing to share. But because the moment you imagine being seen, something in you tightens and says, better not. You tell yourself you're private, or low-key, or above the noise. But deep down, you know the truth. Part of you wants connection, and part of you is terrified of what happens once you're visible. This video is about why you stay silent on social media, even when you want to speak, and what that silence is really protecting you from. And once you see that, your silence starts to make sense. You don't stay silent because you're indifferent. You stay silent because being seen has felt unsafe before. There's a moment no one talks about. It's when you type something honest, then reread it, then delete it. Not because it's wrong, but because it's you. You imagine the reactions before they even happen. Who might misunderstand? Who might judge? Who might scroll past without caring at all? And in that moment, silence feels calmer, controlled, safer than exposure. You don't want attention. You want connection. But you've learned, somewhere along the way, that connection comes with a risk you're not sure you can afford. What's happening isn't about social media at all. It's about your nervous system and memory quietly working together. At some point, often earlier than you realize, you learned that being visible led to discomfort. Maybe it was criticism. Maybe it was mockery. Maybe it was being ignored when you finally spoke up. Your brain logged that moment as information, not consciously, automatically. And the brain does something very simple with painful information. It tries to prevent it from happening again. So now, whenever you consider posting, sharing, or expressing something real, your system reacts as if you're stepping into danger. Your heart speeds up. Your thoughts spiral. Your body looks for the quickest way back to safety. Silence becomes that safety. There's a word for this in psychology: avoidance. Not avoidance because you're weak. Avoidance because your system is doing its job, reducing perceived threat. You adapted, and that adaptation worked. It kept you from embarrassment, from rejection, from the quiet sting of being overlooked. But adaptations don't check whether they're still needed. They just repeat what once worked. The cost isn't dramatic, it's subtle. And that's why it's easy to miss. Over time, you lose ease. Posting becomes something you overthink instead of something you enjoy. You lose spontaneity. Every thought is filtered. Every emotion is weighed for safety instead of truth. You lose small chances at connection. Not viral fame, just resonance. Someone seeing your words and thinking, that's me too. You start to feel invisible, even though you're the one choosing not to be seen. And that creates a quiet contradiction inside you. You want to belong, but you also want to stay hidden. Eventually, the silence spills beyond social media. You hold back in conversations. You downplay opinions. You edit yourself in real time. Not because you don't have depth, but because showing it feels like exposure. And beneath all of this is one core fear that keeps the pattern alive. If I show myself, I might lose control over how I'm perceived. And that feels unbearable. This pattern doesn't stay online. It follows you into adulthood in quiet, recognizable ways. In relationships, you hesitate to express needs. The trigger is closeness. The behavior is silence or self-containment. The short-term payoff is avoiding conflict. The long-term cost is feeling unseen even by people who care. At work, you have ideas, but wait for others to speak first. The trigger is visibility. The behavior is staying in the background. The payoff is avoiding judgment. The cost is being overlooked and undervalued. In friendships, you rarely initiate. You respond, but you don't reach out. The trigger is vulnerability. The behavior is passivity. The payoff is not risking rejection. The cost is distance that slowly grows. In decision-making, you delay. You keep options open. The trigger is commitment. The behavior is waiting. The payoff is flexibility. The cost is momentum. Even in self-talk, The pattern appears. You tell yourself you're just private, that you don't need validation, that you're fine on your own. And sometimes that's true. But sometimes it's a story that keeps you from asking a harder question. What would I say if I trusted that being seen wouldn't cost me everything? None of these behaviors are flaws. They're strategies. They once protected you. They're just outdated now. This isn't about forcing yourself to post, or becoming louder, or sharing more than you're ready for. It's about changing your relationship with visibility, slowly and honestly. Here's a grounded way forward. First, notice without judging. When you stop yourself from posting, don't shame it. Just name it. I pulled back. That awareness alone starts to loosen the habit. Second, interrupt with one small choice. Not a big post, not a full reveal, just something slightly more honest than silence. A comment, a sentence, a reaction. Third, replace safety with gentler truth. Ask yourself, what feels safe enough to share? Not everything, just one layer closer to real. Trust grows through repetition, not bravery. Each small moment of safe visibility teaches your system something new. That being seen doesn't always lead to harm. Sometimes it leads to relief. You don't have to disappear to stay safe. You just have to move at a pace that honors both your fear and your need for connection. If this felt familiar, this video was made for you. And if you want more quiet clarity like this, consider subscribing or sharing it with someone who might need it too.